Welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared with Bob on the right side of the screen if you're on YouTube. Let's fuck it, whatever. You want to talk about this Patriots game? I was gonna try and not, but I mean,
it's
coming up.
You want my God's honest, like where I stand with it?
Yeah.
There's no reason why the Bucks shouldn't win by 3 fucking touchdowns, but for some reason that point spread started as 3.5, opened at 5.5, moved to 7, moved back to 6.5. So there's something about this game that I don't understand, that I don't know. I know the gambling lines aren't everything, but this stinks.
Well, also too, Nico's tagged us in that tweet earlier that the public has crushed books so far this week, and the whole they got it back a little bit on the Titans because the Titans obviously didn't cover because they lost, and now they're saying the public is crushing Tampa Bay. So if you follow the law of averages as far as handles go, the public won big and shredded books on what, Kansas City and Buffalo? Were those the two? It was Kansas City and something else.
Dallas was a big one.
Yeah, that's what it was. Is those two. I have the tweet right here. The public took a big chunk from the books today with the Chiefs and Cowboys covering. The books got some back with the Titans lost, though. If the Bucks cover, will be one of the largest bloodbaths the public has ever delivered to the books in quite a while. So that's what I mean. If you follow the law of averages, if they gutted the books with the Chiefs and the Cowboys, but then they kind of came back because the Titans lost, you might think that somehow there's a chance that the Patriots might cover in this game. I don't know how. Like you said, everything about this game says Bucks by 1 million, but if you know anything about gambling on sports, that means it won't be.
Yeah. So I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, you think that. So the strength of the team, the strength of the Patriots should be defensively, specifically in the secondary.
Right.
Should be their strength.
Right.
Which is what Tampa's offensive strength is.
Yes.
You also imagine that Bill is probably going to say, you want to take it 14 plays with 10 runs and that's how you're going to beat us? Go ahead.
Right.
Then on the other side of the ball, Patriots offense is borderline anemic.
Right.
Their Tampa run defense is good. Their secondary is not good.
Trash.
To the point that they had to sign Richard Sherman off the street.
There's not only are they signing Richard Sherman off the street, but they're signing him off the street and he's starting tonight.
Oh.
So that is the circumstance of the Tampa Bay secondary right now.
I don't know though if Mac Jones can carve that defense the way he needs to. I just don't think he can do it. So
yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but obviously this will come out tomorrow morning when everyone will already know the results. So, like I said, I'm not betting on this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Pats cover. I said to Mike earlier, I could see it being like 31-27, as far as like Tampa Bay wins 31-27, something along those lines. Like 30-24, maybe covered by the hook for the people that got 6.5, something like that. Like, I don't see this getting out of hand. But I don't know. It could be. I could just as easily see a 31-27 Tampa Bay that I could 42-13 Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? It's like a coin flip for me. It could be either one. But I don't think the Patriots win this game. I think there's at least a half decent chance that they cover the spread. But I do not think they win this game at all. Like they shouldn't. But again, here we go. If you know anything about sports betting, if you say they shouldn't, then that means they probably are.
Also, everyone in the world is taking the over.
Yeah. Yeah. So
on a primetime game.
You know, it's one of those weird things where this is not like Buffalo. So I look at a game like Buffalo and Houston today, where they were 16.5-point favorites, and everybody and their mother was on Buffalo, and it was 40-0. But like that is a really good team against a really shit team. This is a really good team against like a middle of the road team. I would say above average, but it's still, I would still classify above average as middle of the road. You know, you could be the 13th best team in the league and you're still middle of the road, but you're also above average. So, well, I'll use those hand in hand here. So you got a really good team against a middle team. I don't see a 40-0 game.
Yeah, I don't. If we're gonna get 40-0, the spread would be 10.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, or it would be more. It would definitely be double digits, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to stay up and watch the whole thing, unless it's a blowout. If it looks gross, I'll just go to bed. But
boy, do I hope it's a fucking blowout.
Yeah, same. Me too. I mean, I'm off. I'm taking tomorrow off anyway, so fuck it. And other gross New England sports news. Did the Red Sox ended up losing?
No, I think Devers hit a home run to win it.
They won.
I think they won because everyone's taking their victory lap now. Like so.
Oh yeah, they're up 7-5. Top of the ninth, 2 outs.
Pete Blackburn, he's a hockey writer.
Yeah.
He even said too. He goes, Boston eliminating Toronto from the playoffs, and it's not even hockey season yet.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Yankees won. So looks like it's going to be Red Sox Yankees in the play-in game. So I don't know. My bets have gone pretty well so far this week, I would say, at least on NFL Sunday. I'm currently sitting at 3-2. I'm looking at all the sports action here, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I got some news here. It should be no surprise to anybody that Gavin Newsom is the world's biggest cunt. So obviously he made it through the recall.
Yeah.
Right.
You people in California.
Because everyone in California hated him so much to actually get him to recall. So then they finally have a date. They set up the recall thing. And then I think the recall won no. So the way the California gubernatorial recall works is there's 2 questions. The first question is, should you recall Gavin Newsom? Yes or no? And then if you vote yes, you then have to pick a candidate after that. So theoretically, and this was everyone's problem with the whole thing, like the candidate that becomes the new governor could win with like 20% of the vote. But it's just how it works. It's their system, whatever. But during the recall thing, I think like 60% of the people voted no. So it didn't even, like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even close to having to go to pick a candidate who was running. Like,
because I think they only needed like 1.5 million signatures to get him recalled.
Yeah.
But that's not even near the fucking.
No, there's like 35 million people that live in California.
It's not even close to the fucking population.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be more than that, actually. Maybe it's like 50 million that live in California. Because I think LA, like greater LA, has like 20 million. Or like LA County.
Yeah, I definitely don't know their population, but
yeah,
I mean, 1.5 million votes to I don't know. That place is just
yeah. So the whole thing, I don't know if you followed it. I didn't really follow it. I only heard what like people just other people were talking about. So throughout the whole thing, they pretty much the guy that was the main challenger was Larry Elder, who was he's a black conservative radio show host in California. And it was actually pretty hilarious because there were people on the left that said he was the face of white supremacy.
But he's black.
But he's black. And everyone was like, oh no, he supports white supremacy. He's the black face of white supremacy. And I was like, anyone that has half a brain was like, do you understand what you're saying by saying that? But that's their defense. That was their defense against him.
Yeah, well, there you go. Uninformed idiots.
Yeah. And then the other thing they did was say, well, if you vote for Larry Elder, you're voting for Donald Trump, which I was unaware that they were the same person.
Yeah, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing.
Yeah. Or a variant. I didn't know Larry Elder was a variant of fucking Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's just an alter ego.
Yeah.
A stand-in.
So whatever, they go through the recall. Gavin Newsom fucking crushes on the 60% of the people voted no. Well, wouldn't you know, 2 days, maybe not even, maybe the next day after the recall, what happens? The governor's office comes out and announces that in order to attend restaurants and events in the state, you have to show proof of vaccination. So they're doing what New York is doing. So New York was doing it, and then everyone flipped out on New York. Gavin Newsom says nothing, just keeps his fucking mouth shut and just runs a smear campaign against Larry Elder. Has everyone come out. Biden comes out and supports him, all this shit. Gavin Newsom wins the next day after. Yep. Yeah, well, now in order to do anything, you have to show proof that you're vaxxed. Yeah, I'm going to need your vaccine card in order to get into this restaurant. What a fucking cocksucker. So then the next week, because this was last week, so this week, or this past week, I should say, so maybe this is 2 weeks later, he now comes out and says it's mandatory that all children that attend school must be vaccinated against COVID in the state of California that fit the age criteria of whatever the fucking FDA. Because the FDA is approving what, from 11 to 16?
12 plus right now.
Yeah. So he just signed an order that said anyone that wants to attend California public school must be vaccinated against COVID. How big of a fucking cunt can you be? Seriously.
Well, this is the thing though. See, he's actually acting very consistent. He's acting well within his character. This is what he is, what he does.
Right. But I guarantee you,
the people of California should not be surprised.
No, they shouldn't, because they're fucking idiots. Because one, because they still live in California, and two, because they voted not to recall this guy. But if he had said any of this during the campaign, the recall campaign, his ass would have been out of there. I would all but guarantee it. You know what I mean? If there was anything that came up and was like, oh, Governor Newsom, if you get past this recall, are you going to implement a vaccine passport or whatever? And if he said yes, he would not have got 60% of no's. I can tell you that. What'd you say?
Smarter than we think.
Yeah.
Might be smarter than we think. I mean, he's still an asshole, but
yeah, could
be smarter than we think.
There's already rumors floating around that next year, Pelosi is going to announce her retirement, because now Newsom's obviously tainted, right? Because of this whole recall thing and everything that's going on. So I heard a conspiracy that during the midterms next year, because she's not up for re-election yet, but I think next year would be her like halfway point, that because Newsom is also out next year too. So like that was the other thing too. Whoever won, if there was a recall, was only going to be there for a year, and then there's another gubernatorial race. But whatever. So the conspiracy is that Nancy Pelosi is going to announce that she's retiring like next summer, and Newsom is not going to run for governor again, and is instead going to be endorsed to take Nancy Pelosi's seat in Congress. Because, apparently that's what you can do now. They can just give you my job. Yeah. Can I just have your job?
Yeah. I would say pretty well, but this is the thing though, in California, they're probably likely to elect him.
Yeah.
Which is
most likely.
I don't agree, but the residents of California have shown that they support him. So if he's going to go and run, he's probably going to get it, especially if he has that fucking endorsement.
Because I think he started out as the mayor of San Francisco, which San Francisco is doing pretty good right now, right? Yeah, human shit all over the fucking sidewalks where you can download an app, the poop tracer app. You got fucking homeless people, tent cities everywhere. San Francisco's doing awesome. So he went from like mayor of San Francisco to governor. And then Nancy Pelosi's district that she represents is the San Francisco district and the Bay Area. So that's why everything is connected. And that's why everyone thinks that she's going to retire and then he's going to run for her seat and probably win it because everything is fucking corrupt.
Politics? No.
Yeah. Because she's like fucking, I think she's like 82. She's old as fuck.
Wasn't she? Shit. We definitely watched something where I don't know if she was in Congress when Clinton was there, but it's like
she was old then.
She was, not only was she there then, and she's still there now, she was old then.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was 30 years ago, so she would have been like 50.
So bad.
Depending on what time it was when Clinton was there, because Clinton was there until 2000. So that was 20 years ago. She was in her 60s. So imagine that. And she's been in Congress, God, probably fucking 40 years at least, if not longer.
Probably her and fucking Uncle Joe.
Yeah, creepy Uncle Joe. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting, at least. We also have some fun vaccine stuff, right? So the way this has gone down, right? So this is a couple weeks ago now, but Biden came out and said any company over 100 employees has to mandate that all their employees get vaccinated or whatever. So apparently that's
or testing, right?
Or weekly testing, yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently that's kind of being held up in court still, I think. Because I actually found out that my work will make it mandatory if it passes through like the whole legal process. But there's a bunch of legal proceedings that are still going through. So just like the whole like booster thing, because that's another thing, right? Did you see the fake picture of him getting his booster shot?
No.
He was on a stage. So they showed him a picture of him getting a booster shot, and like the actual picture that went out to the media looked like he was in the White House, right? Like it looked like he was like sitting in front of a window in the White House. Well, come to find out, someone who was at that event took a picture from like a zoomed out thing. He's on a stage with a fake fucking White House in the back. Dude, it's hilarious. Joe Rogan posted it, and I've seen 4 or 5 people post it, but Rogan was obviously he's the biggest one that I saw post it. I'll send it to you right now. I just sent it to you on Instagram. But so the original photo, like I said, was zoomed in of just him getting a vaccine. So it's like him literally in front of a window with the American flag behind him with this nurse giving him the shot. And it's like, oh yeah, he's in the White House. Well, no, he's not in the White House. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different area, but it certainly doesn't look like he's in a White House. It looks like he's in a fucking random fucking warehouse.
Oh, but it's so brave of him to get that shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see it? You looking at it?
Yeah, I looked at it.
So it's fake. It was a staged thing.
Yeah, again, we're stupid. Like we are very stupid.
Yes.
We need, like, people think that like doing shit like this is like okay, cool. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, did you get the shot or not?
Right.
Because like if you didn't get the booster shot, say nothing. And if you did get the booster shot, then why the fuck do you need a fake fucking Oval Office?
Yeah.
Like you literally got your shot in Hollywood. Like,
yes,
you're on a fucking set.
Yeah, you're on a Hollywood set.
Which makes sense. I mean, it feels like we're in a fucking sitcom.
Yeah, it definitely does. So, just as like a little like quick like timeline rundown of how all this bullshit was gone. So, like way back, this was back probably in what, like April, May. We talked about it on here that Pfizer was the first one that was like, yeah, you're probably going to need a booster, right? We did the whole thing like, oh, we're just going to get free money from the government. Yeah. You're definitely going to need a booster. Yeah. Our first shot wasn't as good as we thought it was. You're going to have to keep getting boosters.
Like, oh, well, we're gonna just to stay current, we're gonna need, more.
Yeah. As long as the government's just going to keep writing us checks. Yeah, you're going to continue to need boosters, right? Oh, yeah. So first, Pfizer comes out and says they're going to do boosters. Shortly thereafter, Moderna comes out and says boosters. Well, then fast forward like 3 months. So we're looking at like about a month ago now. Biden comes out and says, yeah, everyone's going to have to get a booster. Well, after he says that, the FDA comes out and says, no, we're not going to approve boosters because there's no need at this time. I think literally what their words was there's no need at this time to have boosters and mandate them and all this shit. So Pfizer's like, oh yeah, by the way, our booster is ready to go. So we're all set. We can just kind of go and do that. And the FDA is like, no, you can't, because we won't endorse it. So what happens? 2 executives. I don't know exactly what executive positions they held, but 2 executives at the FDA resigned because they were like, no, this is stupid. I'm not going to endorse a booster. We don't need it. Well, one, mainstream media didn't cover that. Like no one really knew. I found out from Breaking Points with Crystal and Saga. Shout out to them. All the free ads in the world because they're awesome. And then, like, I'm not shitting you, like maybe 6 days, like 5 or 6 days after the 2 people resigned from the FDA, what does the FDA do? They have a press release that says, yeah, you guys should all go get boosters. And now the media is like, oh yeah, well, the FDA is endorsing the booster. Well, the media didn't cover the fact that 2 high-ups in the FDA, like the people that literally run it, like I don't know how they're structured, but if it's like CEO, COO, CFO, all this shit, let's just make it up and say the CFO and the COO from the company resigned because they were like, nah, fuck this. And then literally 5 days later, the FDA is like, well, they're gone. So everyone else here is cool with it? Yeah. All right, cool. Let's mandate it. And that's kind of how we got to where we are now. So that's pretty fucking awesome, right?
It's funny. I don't know. Because people keep trying to make it seem like we're moving on. People keep trying to make it seem like things are getting better before they get worse. Jim Murray was the only person who was right.
Yeah. Every day is worse than the day before, and it's never getting any better.
And it's over trivial bullshit. Like, literally the country's divided over trivial bullshit.
Yeah. Yep.
It's literally divided over the goddamn flu shot.
Yeah. So I read Ben Shapiro's book the other day. Do you know Ben Shapiro?
No.
He's a conservative talk show host, kind of. He started out as a talk show host. Now he has his own podcast. He has like one of the largest podcasts like in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of his name, but I just don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's pretty funny. Like, I don't agree with him on everything that he says. Like, some of his stuff is kind of stupid. Like, he's an Orthodox Jew too, so not that that's a bad thing, but he's against gay marriage. Like, he is like very like, he's conservative through and through. So like I said, I don't agree with him on everything. Like, him being against gay marriage, who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter.
Why die on that hill?
Yeah. But he actually, although he feels that way, he is pretty cool about it because he's pretty good friends with Dave Rubin, who's another conservative podcast guy, and he's gay, and they're friends. So it's not like Shapiro doesn't want to like associate himself with them. He's just like, I just think what you do is wrong, and that's it. And then he leaves it at that. So for what it is, whatever. But so I just read his new book called The Authoritarian Moment last week. And in it, I thought it's a phenomenal book. The more free ads here. Ben Shapiro's Authoritarian Moment. It's pretty sweet. It talks about how the left turned into an authoritarian regime and tried to exert its will on the country. But he made the perfect analogy in my mind, at least. So he goes like this. Imagine that you have a family, right? So in your case, we'll use Scratch Blaster here. So you have a wife and let's say 3 kids. So you're a family of 5, right?
Okay.
One of your kids decides to become vegan. So now you're left with 2 options when it comes to food and like dinner and stuff. You can either make 2 separate meals, one for the entire family and one for the vegan kid, or you can just make a vegan meal for the whole family and kind of like quasi convert the family to vegan. So most people will just be like, well, I'm not cooking 2 different meals. So I'm going to just make one vegan meal for everyone and we'll just eat vegan now. That is the analogy for what's going on in the country right now. Is there's a small subset of the population that is upset about stupid shit. And instead of doing the thing that's more work, it's a lot easier to just like cowtail to them or curtail. I don't know what the fuck the word is, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you just give up to the small group that's like kind of a pain in the ass. So that's what's happening. Like in the country right now, we're all eating vegan because we have one kid that became a fucking vegan. So all this bullshit that's like, oh, you have to use people's pronouns, or, oh, you have to get vaccinated because that's a thing. Like, anytime there's anything that's in like society. It's like a social thing where there's social pressure and all this bullshit, and it becomes a norm. It's like I think the pronouns thing is probably the best example of this, where people are forcing other people to use their fucking pronouns. It's like, yo, I don't give a fuck, dude. You can live however the fuck you want. If you want to pretend you're a dog, go for it, man. Like, I don't care. But I'm not calling you fucking Fido. You know, like if your pronoun is not fucking Rufus, all right, you can go fuck yourself. But that's what's happening. And I thought it was a perfect analogy. Like I said, you know, you, instead of doing the harder thing, you take the easy way out, and therefore you're changing things for everyone for like a small group instead.
It's like in school, you have the one troublemaker.
Yeah.
It would be like changing your entire lesson plan for one troublemaker. Nope. Usually you just kick that person out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the equivalent to kick someone out is, but
yeah. Or it's like when you're playing a sport, you have one kid that's a fucking asshole and like does something stupid. So then the whole team has to do conditioning. And it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like one kid shows up late to practice and now the whole team has to run. And you're like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah. And it's like, especially that. Yeah. That really showed that one kid.
Right.
Really
right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. It's exactly what's going on. So I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was a really good analogy as to what was going on.
Say it fucking sure as shit seems that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know anything. A lot of answers. I'm out of everything.
I got nothing. I got nothing for anybody anymore. I have no words, no nothing. I was at like I guess it was kind of like an orientation for work, but it was just like a meeting for like out in the Worcester office. And like, you know, a lot of people have been remote and all that shit. So like people even in the same office haven't seen each other in a long time. So, you know, we have to do the whole like icebreaker thing and do like, oh, something interesting about you or whatever. So I'm in a group. There's groups of like 6 or 7 people, and I'm in my group, and they come to me and they're like, oh, what's one thing that people would be surprised about you to learn? And I look at everyone and I go, probably that there's nothing surprising about me. And then everyone just kind of like looked at me. And then one person was like, come on, like there's got to be something. And I was like, I just told you something. Like, aren't you surprised? It seems like you're all surprised right now that there's nothing surprising about me. So I think that's pretty accurate. And they were like, oh, come on, like whatever. And then another person was like, what happened? Like, did COVID change you or something? Like you used to be like so much more friendly or whatever. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I never talk about my personal life to people at work anyway. And I've already done this. And it's fucking cold because we were outside because of fucking COVID. We were outside and it was like 57 degrees. So I'm like, I don't like, what do you want me to say? I'm not going to say anything. They're like, all right, fine, whatever. We'll just write it down and move on. And I was like, yeah, you will. You will. And that's what happened. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. Now everyone's like, oh, your favorite thing. Like, oh, who pissed in your Cheerios? Motherfucker, you did. Because you're fucking annoying. You just need to shut the fuck up. Oh, come on, man. What's something fucking interesting about you? Nothing. I don't care. Like, why are we doing this?
Oh, what's something interesting about you? I have turned shit talking middle schoolers into an art form.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can talk shit with kids with the fucking best of them.
Yeah. Something interesting about you. I don't know. I've been on a hot streak with my bets lately. I don't know. I'm up 38 units in baseball this season. So like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say?
There's nothing to say.
Which is true, by the way. I am up 38 units.
so much money.
Yeah.
Fucking. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, because we used to do that shit at, like, for college.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, so tell us your name, where you're from, and one interesting thing about you. Oh, I'm Bobby. I'm from Medford, and I don't want to fucking be here right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, come on, like, give us something. Oh, sorry. Okay. My name's Bobby. I'm from Medford, and I almost considered not coming to college.
Yeah.
Yet here I am. You're like, really? I go, yeah, I really didn't want to go. Oh, why did you? Guidance counselor wouldn't sign my papers otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking.
It's just stupid. But like the thing where the person was like, "Oh, what happened to you? Did COVID change you?" No, I'm still the same miserable prick. I just haven't seen you in a year, so you just forgot.
Yeah, the allure of not seeing you people for a long time, there is no allure.
Yeah, no. Like imagine that. Like imagine getting upset because someone in your group that you work with, that you see like occasionally at work, is like, "Oh, how come you don't want to share something interesting?" Fuck off. You don't need to know anything about me. I work with you. We're not friends. Like we're friendly, but we're not friends.
Like, something interesting about yourself. I could beat any of you in this room in golf. And actually, I could probably put you on teams and still beat you.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, hey, like if we were gonna like cook barbecue, I would make better food than everyone here.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a way to say something interesting where it's like, I really like to cook on my smoker.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm willing to bet that I'm better than all of you at cooking.
Yes.
Well, why'd you have to say it like that? I'm not wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. You told me I had to say something, so here we are.
Yeah. I would have been fine not being here today.
Yeah. You think we're gonna, oh man, we're not gonna hit the second half over in this Green Bay game. That's sad.
I'm not hitting anything because I didn't fire a bet on that.
I don't know why. I was doing well. I think I was I hit 3. I think I went 3-1 in the NFL today. And then at halftime of that Green Bay game, I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know, 23.5. That's probably going to go over. And they've scored, I think, 10 points in the second half. And there's 4 minutes left in the game. So we need 2 touchdowns in the next 4 minutes. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not.
Are we going to have another crazy ending to a fucking NFC West game?
Nope. That's because the kicker for San Francisco is actually their punter.
Yes. Yeah. He's already missed 2 kicks. He missed an extra point and like a 40-yard field goal?
Something like that.
And then LOL to anybody that thought Denver was going to win -1.
Dude, I was like convinced the fucking bartender was going to fucking fuck me again.
Was the bartender on Baltimore?
No, they were on Denver.
Oh.
So the bartender is on it's Chicken X Dinner on Twitter. It's another podcast. And you just fade the bartender with whatever he picks.
Yeah.
The
bartender's notoriously bad.
I think the bartender took Denver either 2 or all 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Hit every time. I'm like, the bartender is fucking ruining my fucking bankroll right now.
Yeah. So normally the bartender is terrible, but this season so far, the bartender is good.
Yeah, winning record. But if Baltimore can hold on, if Baltimore can hold on, he'll be 0-3 today. But the bartender, so this is the thing, when you follow the account, it almost makes me wonder, because usually like when someone does, it's like, oh, the bartender. There's another one, it's Dennis. You fade Dennis.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always wonder, I'm like, oh, these actually real people or what? And it's like, you never know. But the bartender picks was the Lions, it was Denver, and it was a Chiefs spread and over parlay, I think. And I'm like, well, it's stupid to fade the parlay because parlays usually lose because one of the legs misses.
Because one of the two, yeah.
Not because both of the legs miss.
Right.
So it actually makes me think that it's the bartender's a real person. Because you can't do anything with that.
No. So don't look now, but the Steelers just got a touchdown. We only need one touchdown now in the last 4 minutes and 1 second of the game.
You know they're absolutely going to run that clock.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 field goals. And I'll lose on the fucking hook.
Fucking goddamn bartender.
So, by the way, if you are betting, if you're following along with us, make sure you use mybookie.com. You go to mybookie.com, use our promo code SarcasmPod, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So again, mybookie.com, promo code SarcasmPod, doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. That's usually where I make most of my bets. I do have a couple different books because, if you're a sharp bettor like me, you always gotta go for the best lines. So just
down for being a pro.
Yeah. Hey, I'm up 38 units in baseball this season. So
yeah, you're killing the bookie.
Yeah, I'm killing it. But typically my bookie is pretty good. I have noticed though, my bookie is good for everything typically, but baseball lines. Sometimes I can get better baseball lines at other books, which is why I have a couple different accounts, but I don't know what it is.
Every sharp bettor knows you have to have multiple accounts.
Well, yeah, duh. But for you guys, you want to use my bookie. Well, actually, you want to, if you're going to have multiple accounts, maybe you're sitting there like, oh, I use Bet Online, or oh, I use Bet US, or I use WinBet, or I use DraftKings, whatever. Well, yeah, cool, awesome. But you should also use my bookie because, again, like you just said, every sharp bettor knows you got to have multiple books so you can always get the best line. So when you use mybookie.com, again, our promo code SarcasmPod gets you a doubled deposit on your first deposit up to $1,000. So thanks to them. I don't know. You got anything? You got anything else, or you want to wrap this up? Or
are we at wrap up time?
Almost. We got I think we're at 50, almost 50 minutes. It might be a shorter one. I mean, recently our episodes have been going an hour and a half. So I think if there's a 52-minute, I think we'll be okay. I don't think anyone's going to be mad about it.
Yeah, true. One thing that we can always rely on is the Massachusetts Senate failing us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck.
So October 1st, when was that? Was that Friday?
Yeah, last Friday.
Yep. So the Senate President, Karen Spilka, Sarcasm Speaks known cunt.
Yes.
Told us that gambling on sports will depend on the available, quote, bandwidth. What the fuck is bandwidth in terms of politics? What the fuck does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Does it mean that they just aren't going to take the time to, they just aren't going to take the time to approve it because they don't want to?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're really busy because they have a lot of other things that they're working on, mandating vaccines and stuff.
Well, they have to. I guess they got so. This is a way to make money. They got to find more ways to spend money first, I assume.
Yeah. It blows my mind. The more states that legalize betting, and after a couple months, they start releasing how much money that the state is actually bringing in. I don't understand how it's not legal in all 50 states yet. the amount of money that you could make from this is absurd. And there's still people that are like, yeah, no, we don't want it.
Yeah, never mind. So, and this is the other thing too, is the things that people like, people look at like the handle, like just the handle.
Yeah.
It's like the tax money off of the money wagered, or really it's the net money wagered. And there's a tax on that direct. But then each business pays taxes from the business. That goes to the state, that like,
right.
So you got that. Then if these places where you can wager on sports, serve food, drinks, whatever, there's taxes on that.
Correct.
So the money that gets projected is just from the money, the net money wagered. Not even all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, you're right. Keep paying people to fucking stay home. Keep worrying about fucking mandating a fucking shot for people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We just don't have the bandwidth for it, you know?
Yeah, we don't have the bandwidth for it. Like, what does that even mean? Like, seriously, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit to me. Sounds like total bullshit.
Well, it just sounds like they don't want to do it.
Yeah. Like, I really wonder, like, what is the reasoning? Like, who benefits? So that's the other thing. Dan Holloway always says from Drinking Bros is cui bono. It's a Latin phrase because I know Latin now, but it means who benefits, right? So you always want to look, especially in politics, into who's benefiting from what's going on, and then you can typically find out, you know, why something is happening or what's the driving force behind it.
This one's interesting though. I cannot figure it out.
Yeah,
because it's not. So like in Connecticut, there was an issue with the tribes,
right?
And the tribes didn't want sports betting. So it's like, all right, well, you have to go to the tribes to figure out how we're going to do this.
Right.
Okay. So is there so much corruption in the political system that fucking Eddie Fasthands in South Boston pulls so much money that he's paying off politicians?
Yeah, Jimmy from East Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
What, like, why? There's no one to benefit from not having it outside of the legal books. But even then, people are still going to bet through their bookie.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, would it hurt casinos? I don't think so.
It would quite literally only stand to help casinos.
That's what I would think. That's
now,
my
if
first
the
thought.
Casino operators are like, you know, kind of see, this is the problem is like, so like when MGM and Penn would want sports betting in the state.
Right.
Now, they may be fighting over who's going to operate and how they're going to operate and how many physical licenses they're going to be.
Right.
But they wouldn't fight to not have it.
Right.
They would just fight to have it their way.
Yeah, you would think with all the money that those three companies have, and then, oh, by the way, throw in DraftKings and FanDuel, both Boston-based companies.
So I guess I could see if like Wynn was like, well, I'll give you guys some money if you don't let DraftKings get a license.
Right. Or you make it tethered to a casino.
Right.
Which has been there's been so many different bills. I think we set a record, right? We set a record for the most bills ever introduced for it.
Yep.
So I think some of them were, you know, to tether the sports betting to casinos.
Yep. I don't know, man.
Yeah, which is how Rhode Island does it, right? Rhode Island has It's tethered to Twin River.
Yeah.
And whatever the Tiverton one is.
Tiverton.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Massachusetts has to do redistricting. They got to close out the books, do a sub budget.
Yeah.
They got to close out the books. You guys have accountants on staff. They close out the books. What the fuck is the Senate president doing with closing out the books? The fucking accountants.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the bookkeepers or whoever. A Votes Act. Oh, some of it will depend upon bandwidth and how it stands. I actually almost wish it meant the literal fucking internet connection in the goddamn state. I wish that's what it was. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they literally said Comcast is not strong enough in Massachusetts to handle sports.
Fuck Comcast.
We might have to bring Cox Cable to fucking Massachusetts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking state sucks.
It does. It's pretty terrible. So for my final thought, I've got some sad news. You know, a lot of people might be really upset with this one, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And the Dollar Tree, you know, that store where everything is $1. Well, not anymore.
Really?
Unfortunately, due to inflation, the Dollar Tree has to raise its prices. So now, no longer everything at the Dollar Tree is going to be $1. It is now going to be anywhere between $1.25 and $1.99.
So I have no reason to go there anymore.
Yeah. Now, what's the point? Because you can get something else for $2 somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like the whole allure of the Dollar Tree is that everything there is $1.
Right.
And
like if I walk in there.
So what they also are going to do too, they have a section in their stores that's like the Dollar Plus Club or something like that, whatever it's called. Oh, no way. Did Green Bay just get a pick six?
No, they didn't get a pick six.
Ah, damn it. Well, so much for that second half over. So they have a section in their store, like the Dollar Plus section or whatever, where things are like $2, $3, $4, $5. So they're also going to expand that part of their store. So essentially, like I hear all this and I go, so you're just becoming Five Below.
Basically.
Because that's Five Below. That's all that is. Everything is $5 or less. Which, if you think about it, is probably a better business model and way more sustainable, right? Because over time, like keeping everything as $1, like that's really fucking hard to do to then also still make a profit. But if everything is $5 or less, you get way more wiggle room.
So I can assure you, and I didn't go there much, so they're not going to be hurting by losing my business.
Yeah, yeah.
I will go there for no purpose going forward.
Yep. So I don't know when it's going into effect. I would imagine probably January 1st, because that's just what makes sense in my brain. But I did hear that the dollar store, due to inflation, will no longer be $1. They might still have some things that are $1, but they're not. They're no longer holding themselves to that standard where everything in there is $1. So maybe you go to get something and then now it's $1.75. And you're like, what the fuck is this? Well, you can thank inflation for that. So sad news today. It's the beginning of the end for the dollar store.
Well,
I'm sorry, Dollar Tree.
A lot of these dollar stores, they weren't $1 to go in and buy shit.
Right. Like, I'm pretty sure, what's the one? Dollar General? Like, I'm pretty sure that shit hasn't been $1 in there for like years or like ever, really. I think the Dollar Tree was the only store
where everything was
everything was literally $1 or less.
Like, we already have Ocean State. And I know anyone who's not local, it's just Ocean State's basically just like anything you want to buy cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like wholesale stuff. It's kind of similar to, actually, this might also be local, but I was going to say it's similar to like a Christmas tree shop. It's like a less fancy Christmas tree shop. But I think that's also a New England thing too.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't even know how to explain that to people that aren't from around here. They buy shit they buy like the extra shit. You know what I mean? So like if Walmart orders like 100 cases of something and there's like a mix up and they get like 150 cases, Walmart sells those 50 cases to Ocean State, essentially, in Christmas Tree Shop. Like I think that's the best way I can explain it to people that aren't from New England. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, there's obviously there's stores like that everywhere. It's just we don't know what they are.
Right. Yeah. So, well, I think that's it. I think that's gonna wrap it up and put a bow on it for today. Are we done with all the late games too? I see Scott Hansen on TV. That usually means that all the games are over.
Yeah, I think they're over.
All right. Well, we're gonna roll into this Pats game. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'll watch until it gets ridiculous and painful and then becomes a blowout, and then I won't. So I won't bet on it. But if you guys want to bet on it, again, go to mybookie.com, use the promo code SarcasmPod, double your first deposit over there up to $1,000. And while you're at it, you can't obviously do this now because it's Monday morning when you're listening to this, but next weekend, if you want to, get out there and enjoy the last little bit of good weather we have, you want to grill some stuff, you want to throw some stuff on a smoker, you want to just, cook up a storm, you want to use Grill Your Ass Off seasonings. They have the goddamn best seasonings in the world. They give you 16 ounces in a bottle. It's not a little bottle. It's actually a giant bottle because it's a pound. Not like that bullshit stuff you get from Meat Church and fucking McCormick and all that shit. And it's like $11-12. So again, grillyourassoff.com. Use a promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order. They don't just have seasonings over there too. They got hats, mugs, aprons, cool like kitchen gadgets too. They have a new meat thermometer, like an instant read meat thermometer. They're releasing, I don't know if I can say, I think it's out to the public now. They're releasing like their new pickles. Like they have a bunch of new pickles that are coming out too. So GoYourAssOff.com, promo code SarcasmPod gets you 15% off everything in the store and your entire order. Not like little individual things like you can only get this much off of this. Nope. GoYourAssOff.com, promo code SarcasmPod gets you 15% off of everything. Every single time too. It's not a one-use deal. It's a multiple-use guy. So enjoy that over there. If you want in on the weekly Sarcasm Speaks NFL Pick'em, let us know. Reach out to us on social media or just shoot one of us a text if you have our numbers. We'll get you in. It's $5 a week. No commitment. You don't have to play every week if you don't want to, but $5 will get you in. I don't know who was winning. I think Mary was winning the last time I checked, but that was like halfway through the 4:00 window. So I don't know. It's probably changed since then. I won 2 weeks ago. So it's pretty cool. It's nice to get a little bit of money there. Anybody can play. So if you're listening to this and you play and you have people maybe you work with, maybe you're friends with, and they want to play, tell them, let them know. We don't have to know them. All they have to do is send $5 and get in. The bigger the pool, the bigger the pot, and then it's more money that you win. So that's over there. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod, on Twitter at Sarcasm_Speaks, or on Facebook at Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night.